A terrific week for the Big East and not so much for Big Ten teams not named Purdue or Indiana. Clayton Collier here with my ballot explainer. Now, my ballot for this week's AP Top 25 is here on the left, the overall AP poll on the right. So we'll start here with Purdue. Top number 18 UNC and number 5 Villanova. I moved them all the way up to number 2, number 3 overall in the AP poll. But we should see some shuffling here in the top 5 where we may with number 1 Gonzaga playing number 2 UCLA and number 5 Duke this week. Now Memphis moves up to number 6 in my ballot. 9th overall in the poll on this one after a 2-0 week. 50 turnovers for the Tigers in those 2 games. They won't be able to get away with that in Brooklyn this week. Now Nova drops to 7 after the loss to Purdue, but buoyed by a dominant win over Tennessee. The Vols dropped from 11th to 16th in my ballot on this one, but overall ending at 15th, kind of meeting in the middle because last week the poll had them down at 17, moving up this week. Memphis and the Vols getting the benefit of a bad overall week for the Big Ten. Michigan with 2 losses this week at home against Seton Hall and then got pummeled last night in a neutral site game at Arizona. They were out of my ballot, but they landed all the way at 20th overall. They're not showing here on mine because it's my ballot. Michigan somehow ended up at 20th on this one. Arizona checked in at 17th. Seton Hall behind Michigan at 21 somehow. Apparently some people submitted their ballots ahead of last night's 8:30 tip between Michigan and Arizona. Now, one of the other big upsets, BYU destroying Oregon in Portland, 81-49. The Cougars also beat San Diego State last week. I debuted them at 13 on my poll, 18 overall for the AP Top 25 in this one. Now, St. Bonaventure also a 3-0 week, moves up to 17th in my ballot, 16th overall. The Bonnies went through Boise State, Clemson, and Marquette to capture the Charleston Classic Championship. And if not for a loss, I would have ranked Marquette this week, especially after their win over Illinois. Since they didn't have Kofi Cockburn, I kept the Fighting Illini at 19th in my poll, overall 14th in the AP Top 25 this week as well. Another Big East upset this week, Xavier top number 19 Ohio State. The Buckeyes are out. The Musketeers are in. I had them at 22-25 overall in the AP Top 25, setting up a potential Top 25 matchup of the NIT season tip-off in Brooklyn. Memphis plays Virginia Tech in the first round of the 14 field. Xavier has Iowa State. Hey, have a question or comment? Leave a comment on YouTube or hit me up on Twitter at Clayton J. Collier. Until next week, I'm Clayton Collier.